If you are over the age of 60, what you do in the first 60 seconds after opening your eyes in the morning may determine how your heart handles the most dangerous part of your entire day, because most people believe that heart attacks and strokes happen randomly, without warning. But what many do not realize is that a large number of serious cardiac events occur in the early morning hours, right after waking, during a moment that feels completely normal, completely harmless, and yet for some people, that moment becomes the trigger. My name is Li Wen, and over the years I have studied patterns in cardiovascular stress, and there is one pattern that repeats itself again and again. People wake up, they open their eyes, and within seconds they push themselves up, stand, and begin moving as if nothing has changed. But inside their body, everything has changed, because the moment you wake up, your system undergoes a rapid shift. Your nervous system activates, your hormones surge, your blood pressure begins to rise, and your heart is suddenly asked to transition from rest to activity in a matter of seconds. And for a healthy, younger body, this shift is usually handled without a problem, but after the age of 60, that transition becomes more fragile, more sensitive, and in some cases, dangerous. Now let me ask you something. When you wake up in the morning, do you sit up immediately? Do you stand within a few seconds? Do you rush to the bathroom or start your day without thinking? If that sounds like you, stay with me. Because in just a moment, I am going to show you why that simple habit may be placing unnecessary stress on your heart, and what you can do in less than 2 minutes to reduce that risk significantly. But before we get there, you need to understand what is happening inside your body during those first moments of the day. Because once you see this clearly, you will never jump out of bed the same way again. Your body follows a natural circadian rhythm, and in the early morning, your levels of cortisol, a hormone that helps you wake up and become alert, begin to rise sharply. This is known as the cortisol awakening response, and while it is a normal and necessary process, it also increases your heart rate and blood pressure, preparing your body for action. At the same time, something else is happening that most people never consider. During the night, while you are sleeping, you are not drinking water. Your body continues to lose fluids through breathing and subtle processes, which means that by morning, your blood is slightly more concentrated, slightly thicker, and requires more effort from the heart to circulate efficiently. Now add a third factor: aging arteries. Over time, your blood vessels naturally lose some of their elasticity. They become stiffer, less able to adapt quickly to sudden changes in pressure and flow. And when you combine these three factors, the cortisol surge, the relative dehydration, and the reduced flexibility of your arteries, you create what I call a triple morning load on your cardiovascular system. And this is not speculation. Research referenced by organizations like the American Heart Association has shown that the early morning period is associated with increased incidence of heart attacks and strokes, particularly in older adults. Now imagine what happens when, in the middle of this sensitive state, you suddenly go from lying flat to standing upright in a matter of seconds. Your blood, influenced by gravity, shifts downward toward your legs. Your heart must immediately compensate to maintain blood flow to your brain. Your blood pressure can fluctuate, sometimes dropping briefly, sometimes spiking, and in a system that is already under strain, that rapid shift can become the tipping point. I once worked with a man named Samuel, 72 years old, retired bus driver, disciplined, early riser, every morning at exactly 6 a.m. and his alarm would go off, and within seconds, he would sit up, swing his legs over the side of the bed, and stand. He had done this for decades, never questioned it, until one morning, he stood up and felt a sudden wave of dizziness. His vision dimmed for a moment. He grabbed the edge of the dresser to steady himself. He told me later, "It felt like my body had not caught up yet." He brushed it off, blamed it on a poor night's sleep. But over the next few weeks, it happened again, brief, subtle, but there. And this is where many people ignore the signal because it passes quickly. But what they do not realize is that these small moments are signs of instability in the system. Samuel's turning point came when we slowed down his mornings, not with medication, not with something complicated, but with a simple sequence that gave his body time to transition. And this is what I want to share with you now, what I call a 90-second heart stabilization routine, not as a cure, but as a support, a way to respect what your body is going through in those first moments. When you wake up, do not move immediately. Stay lying down for a few seconds. Bring your awareness to your breathing. Inhale slowly through your nose. Hold for a brief moment and exhale gently. Do this for about 20 to 30 seconds. What this does is activate your parasympathetic nervous system, helping to stabilize your heart rate before movement. Then slowly sit up on the edge of your bed. Do not stand yet. Place your feet on the floor. Keep your posture upright but relaxed, and remain there for another 30 to 45 seconds. During this time, your body begins to adjust to the change in position. Your circulation redistributes gradually instead of abruptly. Now, before you stand, take a few sips of water. Keep a glass next to your bed if possible. Hydration at this moment helps reduce the thickness of your blood and supports smoother circulation. After that, stand slowly, not with force, but with control, allowing your body to complete the transition safely. This entire process takes less than 90 seconds, and yet it can significantly reduce the stress placed on your cardiovascular system during one of its most vulnerable periods. When Samuel adopted this routine, something changed. The dizziness disappeared. His mornings felt more stable, more controlled. And he said something that stayed with me. I stopped fighting my body in the morning. I started working with it. And that is the key, because your body is not weak. It is adaptive, but it needs time, especially as you get older. Now let me be clear. This routine is not a guarantee against heart attacks or strokes. And if you experience symptoms like chest pain, severe dizziness, or fainting, you should seek medical attention immediately. But what this does is reduce unnecessary stress. It creates a smoother transition from rest to activity. And over time, these small reductions in stress can have meaningful effects. Now I want you to think about your morning tomorrow, not your entire day. Just the first minute after you wake up. Will you rush, or will you give your heart the time it needs to adjust? Because that decision, repeated every day, may be shaping your long-term health more than you realize. And I want to hear from you. Be honest. Do you usually jump out of bed immediately? Or do you take your time? Write fast or slow in the comments, because your answer might help someone else recognize a habit they need to change. And if this is the first time you are hearing this, follow the channel, because in the next video, I will show you how your evening habits affect your morning heart stability in ways most people never connect.